What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the DS Asylum. I'm your warden, Dimitri Stein, and today we're here with yet another installment of I'ma Fix It. Today we're talking about Rising Rush. So, if you guys watched the first video that went up today, you guys saw the huge rant that I had about Rising Rush. I'm probably going to clickbait the fuck out of the title and just tell you that I rant about Rising Rush to make you think that that's what I talk about for 18 minutes. But shush. Okay. We're actually going to be talking about Rising Rush now and how I would fix it. So, truth be told, the best way to fix Rising Rush would be to get rid of it. But that's not a real answer now, is it? That's not an actual fix now, is it? So okay. You want me to keep Rising Rush, but you want me to make it more fair. For those of you who think I'm talking out of my ass, because for some reason people seem to think that, allow me to give you some evidence as to why Rising Rush is a terrible mechanic. So as you see on screen, I was being Rising Rushed by one Rose Goku Black, and I was LF Namek Goku. Rose Goku Black is a red unit, which has type disadvantage against blue units, which is what my Namek Goku was. Namek Goku is also got pretty good defenses at 3 stars, at 14. I got it wrong twice. At 14 stars. This is the amount of damage that Rose did throughout the 3 attacks that he was able to do before the whole guessing portion happened, right? I guessed wrong. Alright, we're about to take some damage. What you see here is the next hit when everyone did their super attacks. Truth be told, that's how much damage the Rising Rush should have did in full, and that's only because he had a Mai on the back end. He had a green unit on the back end, which has type advantage over blue. Because of that, this should have been the final amount of damage. That's like 45%. But then you look at this. This was the final damage. Keep in mind that the final hit comes exclusively from the unit doing the Rising Rush. Which means Rose managed to do over 1.5 million at the end of the Rising Rush when he was just barely going to... He wasn't even pushing like 500k before that. So someone please explain to me how in the hell Rose went from doing like 20% of my health to, with his other 2 units, doing 45% of my health to then suddenly doing 99% of my health. What the blue hell does that even mean? How do you go from 20 to 45 I can handle, right? I can handle 20 to 45. What I can't handle is 45 to 99 with type disadvantage. That is something that I cannot handle. So, now that we've established that Rising Rush is bullshit, and if you can really look at that and tell me that it's not bullshit, you're just an idiot. I'm sorry, but you need to get your brainium checked. I'm so mad I can't speak properly. Got the stutter. But you know what? Let's fix it. So, fix number 1. I actually don't want Rising Rush to give 2 shits about your type advantage. It already doesn't. Like, let's be honest. Rising Rush already doesn't care to an extent. If that were type neutral, that Rising Rush would have probably did like 4 million, which pisses me off already. Type advantage, that shit would have probably did like 7-8 million. Rising Rush should not be this insta-kill mechanic that says, oh, well, you guessed wrong. Guess you gotta lose your unit now. The only reason I survived that Rising Rush at all was because I had 100% health when he did it. If I had taken so much as 1 hit before that Rising Rush, I would have been dead. So, explain to me how having an insta-kill mechanic based almost solely on Rising Rush, unless you know the unit you're facing inside out and you've kept track of the cards they've used, then sometimes you can try and gauge what a person is going to use. Like, a lot of times you just have that feeling that someone's going to pick green, or someone's going to pick super, or someone's going to pick blast. Sometimes you just have that feeling, right? But 9 out of 10 times, Rising Rush is basically has as much RNG associated with it as fucking summoning. So, the fact that there's an insta-kill mechanic based solely on luck is fucking stupid. But you know what? You want to keep your luck-based mechanic? If it's going to remain luck-based, then it shouldn't be an insta-kill. Here's how I would fix Rising Rush. Let's actually get to the point. You can only use it once per match. That's an automatic given. You will only be able to use it once per match. And we're going to nerf the damage by about 70%. Rising Rush in no situation will ever take more than 50% of your health. However, Rising Rush will not care about element factor. If you hit a green unit with a blue unit, it'll do the same amount of damage as it would if you hit a green unit with a purple unit. But the damage will be significantly lower than it currently is. Rising Rush will be the combination of the cards in your hand plus an extra super attack. That is what the damage would equal. So say you have 3 strike cards. Your Rising Rush damage will equal whatever damage you would have done using 3 strikes and a super in type neutral. Normally, that would only result in, we'll say, for some units 40 to 50, for others 50 to 60, right? That's still a lot of damage. But first of all, it keeps people from abusing Rising Rush by using it, 10 seconds into a fight, because they can only use it once. So you're either gonna use it immediately to try and get a kill, or you're gonna save it to try and make a comeback. And because it's type neutral against everything, you don't have to worry about being screwed over. But here's the other fix. This whole guessing bullshit, it won't happen. You get hit with a Rising Rush, you just get hit with it. Fuck you. Like, if I hit you with a Rising Rush, you're going to take that Rising Rush. If you hit me with a Rising Rush, I'm going to take that Rising Rush. None of this guessing bullshit. You can only do it once, has type neutral damage, but the damage dealt will be significantly less. Basically, if we take the same example, that 2.8 million would likely turn into maybe 1.5. Maybe 1.8. Which is still a lot of damage for one thing. Okay, little insert after, I recorded it and I'm in the editing process. I forgot to mention that you get to keep the cards that you had in your hand. So any cards you use don't get taken away from you after you use the Rising Rush. You get to keep this. You still get to keep your cards, or at the very least, it completely resets your cards after you use it. Okay, back to past dumbass me. Anyway, that's basically how I would fix Rising Rush. This is the longest I'ma fix it video yet, because Rising Rush makes me and so many people angry. And it's really the fact that it's an insta-kill that you can use multiple times. It's a damn near guaranteed insta-kill that you can use multiple times. And the thing is, getting 2 Rising Rushes per match is not an uncommon thing. Getting 3, that's not as common, but I have been in situations where I have lost matches because all 3 of my units died to Rising Rush. And that's such bullshit. So only use it once, does type neutral damage, but only does the amount of damage it would do with the 3 cards that are in your hand plus an extra super at the end. There you go. Fuck Rising Rush.